Hello there, people, and welcome to yet another useless Quake script mod, or whatever you call it, QC mod, in this whole series, just to see what in God's name we can find in this whole randomness. You know, they're definitely different, and I guess that's really the fun of it, isn't it? They may be totally useless, but they can be quite interesting, to say the least. So yeah, basically this time around we're checking out something by Nezu the Unworthy. The barely credible camera patch. Basically, it's a nifty Quake C program that hacks the Quake network protocol. I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but okay. He's basically doing something involved with the DEM specs, which made this patch possible. The built-in Quake C functions are not enough to build a camera. So okay, there's some weird camera-based thing. So anyway, basically you need to associate the camera impulses to some keys. Alright, so let's try and actually set all this up while I'm talking to you guys, because I didn't realize there'd be all these random complicated keys this whole thing. What fun. Okay, so yeah, basically you can bind L and K to impulses, whatchamacallit, 240 and 242. So yeah, needless to say, there's basically our setup, our begin setup at least. Let's see here, actually I want to kind of just bits of -10 before I do anything else, because I don't want to actually mess this up. Okay, so we have K as impulse 240 and L as impulse 242. Those are basically the impulses for this camera. You know, as usual, it seems like they throw a bunch of different impulses because binding keys and all that. Anyway, you can choose your own keys you want, of course. Put in auto exec, blah blah blah. Anyway, let's see here. Basically, 240 is going to basically cycle you through the cameras, and 240 is going to return you to a player. So yeah, 242 is the cameras, 240 is the player. Basically, it's just like last time was kind of inspired by Duke Nukem 3D. This is another thing basically coming from Duke Nukem 3D. Basically, looking through the cameras as basically an improved version of that. You can cycle through shell boxes and a deathmatch start as a camera. So go after shell boxes and be safe. Duke says this things. So you can control the view angles, the pitch, and the yaw like you would with a player. Okay, he could not disable it, so consider it a feature, not a bug. You can also keep moving your player around, even in front of your camera, but since your player orientation and the view orientation is the same, you will never see your face, just your butt. Duke says, what's the difference? You don't need one of those lame security screens to see through the camera. They're wired to your wristwatch. Okay, so basically to make a camera or return to a player, you basically press K, and then you press K again to return to the player. So you basically can fire an invisible ray straight ahead, and your target becomes a camera for you. This works for any monster, ammo bots, health stuff, for even the player. Take a trip with your best friend, or your worst friend. You then follow the displacements, if any, of your victim, but you still control your orientation. That could be kind of confusing. Monster movements are really mechanic, by the way, so they're basically a bore to follow. Yeah, monsters are very, very boring. John Romero ought to take a trip with one of his baddies to see how lame they are at hunting. Why don't they use the leaf portals for hunting? Whatever a leaf portal is, I'm not sure, but yeah. This patch should be loads of fun in deathmatch, but you had better take cover because you're not invulnerable while you're looking into your camera. In co-op play, when you see an ogre saw one of your buddy to pieces, teleport into the ogre and see how fun it can be to wield a large chainsaw and toss grenades at people. What's the fun of co-op play anyway? Okay, so yeah, he seems rather pessimistic about co-op play, isn't he? But yeah, needless to say, I'm not really sure the ogre is going to survive against multiple people, but yeah. let's see here. In a deathmatch game, you only need to install this progs.dat on the server. Even a client that doesn't have the modified progs.dat will behave correctly in regards to the camera patch. It's a miracle! So yeah, I wonder if actually you need like progs.dat when it comes to like multiple people on the server. It would be nice to have like multiple people to test this type of stuff out with, but you know, nobody was ever around. Anyway, let's see here. For basically registered Quake above, he's never used this patch on registered Quake because overseas orders aren't lightning fast. But basically, if it's under your Quake directory, you can create a directory named camera, move your progs.dat in there, and blah blah blah. Basically what we have always been doing. He basically has done it for shareware Quake 1.01 while waiting for his registered version. But he promised to id Software he would not release his shareware installer, since that would cause some serious commercial problems, not to mention the question of legality. So buy Quake today to be able to play that patch and other ones. Don't be a freeloader. Hacking Quake since 1 year already. Alright, so let's see here. Let's check this thing out and see what exactly this whole camera thing is about in the first place. Yeah, rather curious, but that's exactly what it's all about, is the experimentation of it all. Okay, so we have our 3 corridors here, rather convenient area, but I don't really feel like doing the same freaking map over and over. Let's try E4 and 5. Why? I have no idea. It's a random map. Okay, so K, you shoot in a straight line. And now I'm a zombie. Wow. Yeah, now I get to see my butt. Amazing. Come here. Owie! Owie, I can't see what I'm doing! Oh god! Oh god, the death of humanity! Oh god, this is fighting! Die! Die! This camera's really hilarious because it's so terribly bad. Look at the design of this thing. What in God's name am I doing? What in God's name am I doing? Oh god! Oh god, where am I going? Where am I going? Well, there's explosive death everywhere. And, let's see here. If I press K again, that switches the camera off. So if I throw this, now I'm a Hell Knight. Hi. Let's see here. Now we can see from shell boxes. Like this shell bots. Or this shell bots. Or this shell bots. Or amazingly, this one. And as you see, your aim is what really depends on. So no matter where you are, it doesn't really matter. You press K again, you turn the camera off. So yeah, really convenient. Just allows you to switch between camera modes. And view things from all these different angles. But yeah, you basically could do this with anything. So if you wanted like the there's a monster zombie, but here's like the item health. You could do it with basically anything you want. At least like entities or whatnot. So yeah, like this health right here, the zombie right there, basically anything you want. Or you could just scroll through all the different shell boxes. Or the deathmatch starts if you were in a deathmatch game, but we are not. I love it. I can't see a thing I'm doing. As I said, you're not invulnerable while you have this thing on, so rather curious little feature. Not really the most useful. And now I get to bounce around as a spawn. Oh, the humanity of it all. And now we get to still get to watch it bounce around even when we're dead. Look at this. Look at the hilariousness of this. How long will it take before they die? Well, there's no infighting, so it's kind of boring actually. Yeah, and we can't switch off the camera because we're dead. So once you're dead, you can even like switch cameras on and off. So yeah, needless to say, another minor feature one. It's definitely a curious little thing like all these are. But as usual, it doesn't really serve much purpose because you don't really get to see like the enemy as in your like having the perspective of the enemy. You see yourself with a gun sitting there and basically looking out from the enemy. Somewhat nice, but at the same time very confusing more than anything. And the whole visualization of the gun really doesn't help the situation. Basically, they should have like found a way to like turn like like the view mode for like the gun off using like our draw view model or something like that. Because as it stands, it looks really odd to all of a sudden be in the camera with your guns still visible wherever you go. It just ends up feeling rather oddly placed on there. And needless to say, not the best of features. But like I said, a nice little thing at the least. It exists, it's a thing. And it's another thing converted over from Duke 3D to basically try and compensate for all the basically interactive features of Duke 3D that didn't really exist in Quake because people were complaining about Quake lacking much of this type of content. And so this is basically people trying to bring around that content for Quake, so that way basically both are more on an even plane. Though as you see, still rather tacky. It really doesn't flow well at all. And really, cameras in Quake, really not that much of a useful thing to begin with. So, needless to say, nice little gimmick, I guess, but overall, it doesn't really flow well at all. This is definitely not something to add to a server. Besides the multi-skin support, nothing has really been that valid for the server yet. So, needless to say, lots of shames for what the mods exactly entail, but they are at least curious to check out, see what exactly type of gimmicks existed at this point for like Quake C. Anyway, really, that's all I really have to talk about. Thank you all for watching. It's been Adventure, and I shall see you all next time!